Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today let's ice dye a sweatshirt. I've prepped it like normal and I have it laid out with the back facing up because I'm going to start the spiral on the back of the sweatshirt. It doesn't really matter which side you start the spiral on, but for me, normally the side that I start my spiral on is the messiest side of the shirt. So I want the front of the shirt to be a little bit cleaner and have a little cleaner folds. So I'm going to start the spiral on the back. I'm using my pair of locking tweezers to begin the spiral, and then I'm going to hold all the folds in place with some rubber bands. The sweatshirt that I'm using is a No Boundaries brand sweatshirt, which I purchased at Walmart in the men's section. It's 60% cotton and 40% polyester. But it's kind of a lighter weight sweatshirt. It doesn't have the fuzzy stuff or the fleece on the inside. I've chosen a darker color palette for this sweatshirt, and I'm curious to see how vibrant the colors are since this is only a 60% cotton sweatshirt. I want to ice dye this sweatshirt, but I want to ice dye it on a rack. So I've placed the sweatshirt on top of a rack, which is down inside of a plastic container. Then I'm using some silicone cake molds to make myself an ice barrier to keep the ice on the sweatshirt. I have a link down below in the description for this video for all of the dye colors that I've used, as well as any of the other items that I usually use when I tie-dye. For this sweatshirt, I'm going to apply the dye in stripes. I'm using Black Cherry from Dharma, Ultraviolet from Dharma, Dances with Raisins from Dharma, Dusty Purple from Pro Chemical and Dye, Dark Cherry from Dye Spin, Vintage Purple from Dye Spin, Huckleberry from Dye Spin, and Purple 521 from Custom Colors. Now over the top of the dye, I'm going to place just a little bit of additional dry soda ash. I want to make sure that as the ice melts and runs through the sweatshirt, it doesn't rinse out all of the soda ash that I have in the sweatshirt. And now I'm going to add some ice over the top. After loading up the top with ice, I'm going to set the sweatshirt aside and allow the ice to melt. After the first layer of ice melted, I came back and noticed a little bit of undissolved dye left sitting on top, so I added a second layer of ice and let it melt as well. Then I continued to allow the shirt to process for another 24 hours after the second layer of ice melted. So this is what the sweatshirt looked like right before I began rinsing it. As you can see, the dye went through really well to the back side. So I started rinsing it in cold water to rinse out the soda ash that was still left in the sweatshirt. Then I'm going to warm the water to hot and continue rinsing to rinse out any of the excess dye that didn't bond with the sweatshirt. After rinsing for a while, I went ahead and untied the sweatshirt and decided to go ahead and soak it to get out the excess dye. To do that, I added some hot water to my utility sink along with a little bit of Blue Dawn dish detergent and just allowed the sweatshirt to soak. I changed the water out a few times, and when the water was almost clear, I put the sweatshirt along with a little bit of Dharma's textile detergent into my washing machine and washed it using a hot water cycle. Then after it was washed and dried, this is how it looks. Okay, so what do you guys think? So it didn't turn out as bright and vivid as it would have if it was a normal white sweatshirt or anything that was 100% cotton. But I was expecting that, so I'm not disappointed by that. The sweatshirt also has kind of a fuzzy look to it. And that's coming from the high content of polyester in the sweatshirt. I don't really know how to describe it, but it is the white fibers from the polyester that don't dye, and it kind of just gives a fuzzy look to the sweatshirt on the top. It doesn't look bad though. It's not like the sweatshirt is pilling or anything like that. It is just a little bit of a fuzzy look to the top. I really like the colors though, and the way they work on this sweatshirt. I wanted a darker feel to the colors. I wanted to use some dark reds and dark purples, and I think it really works. I don't know if you were maybe a little bit panicked when you saw the dusty purple on the sweatshirt because it goes on green, but as you can see, it actually turns out purple. There isn't any green on this sweatshirt. Well, I take that back. There are a few hints of green which came out of the dusty purple, but for the most part, it's purple. So overall, I really like the way the sweatshirt turned out. So if you guys have enjoyed watching this video and the content of this video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.